Yikes. Down there. All right, good enough. All right, good evening, everybody. You would now call to order the regular meeting of the West Sacramento Port Commission. Commissioners are present, so to start us off, if you would lead us in the pledge, Commissioner Sandine.
Salute, pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, the commission met in closed session. Port Attorney, is there anything to report out? Might turn your, yeah.
With its real property negotiators on the two properties identified in the agenda, no action was taken.
All right, very good. All right, I do not have any slips to speak on items that are not on the agenda. Is anybody planning to speak on items that are not on the agenda? All right, given nobody stepping forward, that takes us to item 2, which is the consent agenda. We have 2 items on consent. Any questions?
Move approval?
With the amendment, we got a slip, I think, on that, item 2.
Yes.
Is that right?
Very
Yes.
good. Yep,
I'll
yep.
second that.
All right, so we have a motion and a second by Commissioner Sandine. Motion made by Teresa. I'm assuming that if you're leaning forward, that means you do not know.
Commissioner Cabaldo.
Yeah, I know. Thank you. So Commissioner Cabaldo makes the motion, Commissioner Sandine with a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries unanimous. Takes care of consent. So regular agenda item, we only have 1, and that's item 4, which is consideration of resolution authorizing a purchase and sale agreement with Lewis Land Development LLC for 16.5 acre residential development site south of the Barge Canal. So Mr. Toft.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and good evening, Commissioners. This proposed PSA with Lewis, the Lewis Black Pine Developer Partnership, is the outcome of a solicitation process which began on that property back in 2016, and also the development agreement between the city and the port, which was executed in May of this year. The purchase price is $6,588,000. There's a 45-day feasibility period, and then a 10-day period after that in which to close escrow. That, if the agreement is approved and executed, that takes us to right around the end of the calendar year, maybe bleeding into early January for closing escrow. So per the development agreement with the city, the sale proceeds would generate about $1.3 million in cash to the port. It would also pay off the existing $2.1 million Stonelock acquisition loan and remove that liability from the port's asset balance sheet. And then about $3.2 million would go to the city for the 80% provision in the development agreement for construction of the Barge Canal Trail and Arlington Park as the 2 priorities on that money. The Stonelock 1 is the first phase of a larger development project, which will be a major collaborative effort between the port and the city. And approving this agreement tonight is really kind of a milestone. It represents the first step of developing the port's non-maritime lands. Developer is proposing a 217-unit residential project for the property. They'll have to go through design review and map approval process with the city, and this land sale, proposed land sale, is not contingent upon approval of that map. So thank you for your consideration of this item, Mr. Chair. I'll turn it back to you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Toft. Are there any comments, questions regarding the item before us? Or motions to move forward with this item?
I'll move the recommended action.
All right. Motion on the table. Is there a second?
Second.
All right. Commissioner Johannesson seconds the motion. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries unanimously. All right, thank you very much. All right, that takes care of item 4. So item 5, starting with commission reports. Are there any reports by any members of Port Commission? See no reports. CEO report. Aaron, you have anything?
No report tonight, but I did want to take this opportunity to acknowledge Commissioner Johannesson, this likely being his last meeting as a port commissioner. Really on behalf of myself and Rick, you were on the Port Commission before I got involved with the port, but you were there to see us through what I saw was a really tough time in remodeling the business plan and being really supportive of us in that process. So we really appreciate it. I don't know if, Rick, you want to add anything, but thank you for your role in the port.
Sure, yeah, thank you, Mark. Commissioner Johannesson, it's been, I believe you were elected right about the time that I started with the city, so you've been a steady presence there on the right side of the dais, and appreciate your steady hand, and thank you.
Anytime.
He didn't say that when he started. Yeah, thank you, Mark. On behalf of the entire commission, these are the responsibility that we've had here has required an amount of time and dedication that doesn't get really scored when you get elected to office here locally, but it's a responsibility that you've certainly taken seriously, and I think obviously the port is in a much better place as a result of that. So, thank you.
Can I say something before you
Sure.
let him talk?
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, you've all talked as though these were just, it was just, thank you for coming to a bunch of meetings. But, when Commissioner Johannesson joined the commission, even before he was on the commission as a member of the council, the port was in dire straits. It was definitely not clear that there was going to be a port when he was elected to the city council. And navigating the politics, some of the relationships with the employees, who worked at firms in and around the port, and building the broad coalition to get the legislative approval for the governance transfer, and then helping to lead through all of that, the business plan work that has resulted in the port being not just a going concern, but now a profitable public agency with the future. And so it's an extraordinary accomplishment. I think few of us get the opportunity to do something of that significance, even one thing like that in our public service careers, and obviously done many more. But it really is an outstanding achievement, and I don't think we would be here without the leadership and the contributions that you've made at the commission and in the community.
Yeah, well, I appreciate being on this commission and the work that I think we've all done together to bring the port through hard times, and it has converted from an operating port to a landlord port during my tenure. But really the credit, I think, is up to the group here. There hasn't been, there's been disagreements on this and that, but by and far the commission has acted responsibly and cohesively and like adults, and joined with the staff and that we've had over the years on the port. Staff working up the report so we can actually make sense of this, putting it in perspective. It makes our lives a lot easier. So I appreciate all of the support that I've had over the years with folks on the commission, and then of course Aaron, you're new, but and Jeff, I think we've been through a couple of city attorneys here, but yeah, so it's been a good experience, going all the way from more of a maritime type concept to more of just a land-based concept, and I think it's a good experience to have, and appreciate the time on it on the commission.
Yeah, very good. All right. Well, thank you very much, Mark. So that concludes our formal agenda, and so if we're looking to move on, we need a motion to adjourn. All right, we have a motion and a second by Commissioner Sandin. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Yeah. All right, we are adjourned. Thank you very much.